The UK now admits it's preparing a major plan to ready the whole country for a major global war. Everyone from the military and the police to hospitals and the industry has to be ready for the transition to war. And straight away, it's like they're preparing for war. We're being shown what was already planned out by people, but there will be no war. They're getting ahead of the narrative. And look how this all ties together to a really important topic. Watch the water. So listen to Sir Richard Knighton here.
Transition to conflict, transition to war, as it's described, NATO describes it, transition to conflict, as a military component to it, but also has a civilian component to it. The SDR talked about how we protect our critical national infrastructure, and we also talk about how we need to build that resilience into the systems as we renew them.
And listen what he says this bit.
I talked before Christmas of the need that when we think about renewing our water infrastructure or our electricity or our transport infrastructure, to think about the threat of action from an adversary that is above the threshold of war, so it's not just a hybrid threat.
The water infrastructure. And this is where it gets really interesting. We're not going to war, but it's the word water which has been used all day throughout the whole internet. Go on Google, type in water and just press news and you will see all of it. And the first thing it takes us to is Iran. Iran-linked hackers are sabotaging US energy and water infrastructure. Then if you look at all the news articles, all within the last few weeks, they've been talking about Iran's cyber hacks and the water systems throughout that. And there's more posts today. First, they went after Medtech, then Kash Patel. Iranian hackers' next target is likely low-hanging fruit in water, energy and tourism, experts say. And it says Iran is trying to turn off America's water. Well, look how this is all now tying together. Donald Trump also puts out a post today. The Iranians don't seem to realise they have no cards other than a sure extortion of the world by using international waterways. The only reason they are alive today is to negotiate. So let's go to the Q post because I feel this is showing us something sinister that was planned a very long time ago. It says water. Why is this event big? What does it signify? Why is North Korea out of the news? Look, as the world turns, and it says watch the water. And it's Alex Jones now we're seeing is one of the original gatekeepers. And there's another post. Look, there is a lot more to this than you realise. Think collective attacks versus Q. Look, they attack Alex Jones to give him fake credibility amongst Trump-supporting patriots, thus poisoning the water and directing the narrative of the opposition through a Mossad-supported asset, aka Alex Jones. All team effort, coordinated collective attacks with pawns and actors serving black hat agenda and attempting to control and divide patriots. Look, attacks will come from all sides. And you can see from Donald Trump's post yesterday, all these gatekeepers are now following the same message as Alex Jones. And it's Alex Jones that told us about the water a long time ago.
Look it up for yourself. I mean, this is what do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
They turn the frogs gay, putting chemicals in the water. This is going to be something even bigger. And I'm pretty convinced it's all linking back to the water, a sinister plan that was already put in place. And then there's another post. It says, who knows where the bodies are buried? The ones who put the bodies there. Look, black water was used in a shinton of a shady ops by the US government back when it was under Kabul control. And as a proper PMC, they've got it all on the books which now Trump has access to. And it says expand further. And it says it's important to understand when this breaks, many won't swallow the water. But if you look at the water news articles today, they're all over. Look, Grand Canyon National Park to implement additional water conservation measures beginning April 11th, which is tomorrow. And then there's so many articles a day from all around America. Look, could Florida actually run out of water? Grand Valley water officials brace public ahead of dry summer. A town in Arizona could run out of water in just 3 months. Here's why. City leaders in Brighton enforcing water restrictions amid ongoing Colorado drought. And on the same day, look, a state emergency, rising water levels at Sheboygan Dam prompt State Emergency Observation Center activation. City of Toledo to build 4 new water towers pump station. New EPA initiative targets struggling rural drinking water systems. Officials say a streamlined approach to technical support could improve compliance and protect the public health. And this is all today. Look, a Mohara Fire Department responds to carbon dioxide leak at mud water treatment plant. So what are the chances of that? The UK are now preparing for a transition war and mention water infrastructures. Iran is trying to turn off America's water through the hackers. Donald Trump mentions Iranian, and the only thing that they got now extortion is the water highways. And then if you watch the water, it brings back Alex Jones, who's told us about they turn the frogs gay by putting chemicals in there. And then if you just do a search on Google, there's so many different articles all around the world, all talking about water, drought, new systems, new pumps. So watch the water.